Weather's Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca with your live Pinpoint Doppler 12 Futurecast.
Well, 93 degrees yesterday afternoon, up to 90 today, and that heat will continue actually for the next several days. Live Pinpoint Doppler 12 radar, clear skies, dry air, and not a drop of rain, and nothing expected locally or nothing approaching the horizon. So we'll keep the warm and dry weather for tonight. Heat wave in progress, day 2 of probably a 5-day heat wave. Of course, Earl concerns for, well, looking at new information now, not so much late Thursday, but more than likely on Friday as far as making its closest pass. One thing's for sure, and that is extreme surf and wave action and rip currents are likely at area beaches late week and probably the first half of the holiday weekend. And that's with the storm actually staying offshore, if it in fact tracks in that general direction. We're going to talk more about Earl in detail in just a second. 73 in Providence. The wind is calm. Humidity is not too bad. It was a dry heat today, so it wasn't muggy despite the toasty temperatures. Now, most locations are in the 70s, though Taunton and New Bedford have cooled now to the upper 60s. That includes Plymouth as well. Boston, though, still at 81 right now with clear skies. High pressure fair weather system right in there. In control, again, larger than charge here. It just means more dry weather and heat over the next several days. So sunshine tomorrow morning, 73 early, 86 by late morning, getting up into the mid-90s. In fact, I bumped up the temperatures a little bit now, up to 95 degrees tomorrow afternoon with sunshine. Even South Shore, upper 80s to lower 90s at area beaches. A great beach day, just very warm. Temperatures inland in the middle 90s. I wanted to update this part of the map right in here and add a few 95s in here, just give you an idea of just how hot it will get tomorrow afternoon. That includes interior Massachusetts, southeastern Mass, low to mid-90s for daytime highs. Let's get right to the tropics and looking at a well-developed Category 4 Hurricane Earl. You can see a distinct eye right there. That's a powerful Category 4 storm as it tracks off in this general direction next roughly 48 hours as a Category 4 storm. And obviously a storm in this position, here's Cape Hatteras, becomes a concern for the entire East Coast right on up through New England. Top winds of 132, gusts to 161 moving west-northwest. The track over the next 3 to 5 days taking it close to Hatteras but then bending back out to sea. Here it is 8 o'clock in the evening on Thursday. The storm then accelerates north and east, making its closest pass to southern New England by 8 p.m. on Friday as a Category 2 storm. Only a couple of hundred miles south of Cape Cod, and that is a close call when it comes to predicting hurricanes, especially 3-4 days out. Possible scenarios, if it in fact stays on that track offshore, one would be some pretty big swells and surf offshore, more than likely very heavy surf associated with the system as it passes offshore. Even with a track that stays off the New England coastline, the hurricane force winds would more than likely stay offshore as well. We just get grays with some rain and some wind on Friday, but the problem is a slight deviation to the left or to the west would bring a more higher impact as far as rain and wind here in southern New England. So obviously the forecast is very track sensitive, and a slight shift is going to make all the difference in the world, and why even at this stage there's some uncertainty as the storm is still 3.5 days away. So wrapping it all up, close call on Friday, extreme surf and waves likely late week. We're going to keep an eye to see whether or not that track shifts closer to the coastline. Rain and wind does graze the shoreline with the highest risk of perhaps hurricane force winds reserved for the outer Cape and Nantucket only, and as of now the eye stays offshore. At least that's the forecast at this point. That would be good news, obviously, but it's still too close for comfort. Hot and dry next 3 days. Friday's the day to watch as far as potential rain and wind. The holiday weekend looks good. Cooler and drier Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll review the data all over again tomorrow to see if things change, but right now just stay on guard.
All right. Thanks, Tony. Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 11.